run back down through these 10 principles of Pan-African nationalism. I want them to be permanently fixed in your mind. The first one is belief in a supernatural spiritual power to aid us in our struggle for Pan-African reconstruction and redemption as long as we do our part. Number 2, self-reliance, independence of effort, economically, nationalistically, educationally, and otherwise. Black children must be taught by black teachers, not white ones. You cannot expect the school district of Philadelphia, California, New York City, Baltimore, Maryland, Georgia, Kentucky, okay, or anywhere else to prepare your children with a proper mindset for liberation. You have to teach them yourself. Getting the school district of Philadelphia to adopt a black history curriculum is not progress. Anytime you take something from yourself and give it to the enemy and ask him to do it for you, you are begging for your re-enslavement. Begging for your re-enslavement. Independence means you do it yourself. Second is independence of effort. Third, collective political consciousness and identity. The only way we're going to solve the post-traumatic slavery disorder that has most of our spirits all messed up is to make the unconscious conscious. Become aware of your actions, become aware of your thoughts, become aware of your feelings and your words. We must make the unconscious conscious. We must forge a collective political consciousness based on one race. One race. And in an effort for race first. Collective political consciousness and identity. We are one race. Period. The slogan of the IMIPAP, unity, power, nationhood, honor. One race. That's what we are. One race. I don't want to hear anything else. I don't want to debate religions, belief systems. One race. Let's start there. Mr. Garvey said one God, one aim, one destiny. The IMIPAP says one race. Unity, power, nationhood, and honor. Pan-African nationalism here, there, and everywhere. One race. Motto, slogan, punchline. One race. We must have unification of economic and political power. Our own stores, our own factories, our own schools that are financed by black people. If we got to take a dollar house to make that into a halfway decent school, at least we can say we run it. Everybody got to start from somewhere. See, we want to be able to run before we've crawled. Patience, brothers and sisters. Patience and hard work will get us everything we need. Because we don't want to struggle, because we don't want to sacrifice, we want to go run and beg to the white man to build for us what we should be building for ourselves. No, 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 no. Patience and perseverance. Put our money together, build slow. No, we're not going to have the most beautiful schools, but at least we own it. What good is having a beautiful place to work and live in if you don't own it? As W.E.B. Du Bois once criticized the Honorable Marcus Garvey by saying he's president of an organization whose headquarters is a half-finished church, and Mr. Garvey, in response to W.E.B. Du Bois, said, I would rather have a half-finished church that I own than be working downtown in Manhattan in the NAACP building that's financed by Jews. I own mine, and they can kick you out of yours at any minute. That's the mindset we have to have. That's the collective political consciousness that we have to forge. Pan-African imagery. Take down any pictures that do not inculcate feelings of self-pride, self-love, and unification. A black woman with a blonde wig and blue eyes should not be hanging up in your daughter's room. Period. White Jesus should not be in your church. If it is, then that church is doing what? Proliferating psychological genocide, menticide, psychological castration. How are you going to be a black church with a white Jesus? It don't make any sense. A black church with a white Jesus is nothing more than a neo-colonial religious center. You are teaching black people to continue to worship whites. That was supposed to be over. Why are we still doing it? Pan-African vision and strategy. We got to sit down and work collectively and come up with what our vision is. How we're going to strategically achieve that vision. We know independence is our vision. We know that. Religious freedom is our vision. We're not going to force feed religion to anybody. Relationship with the Creator is what's more important, not the religion. But the strategy to get there. How can we weave our way through white supremacy and fight white supremacy to get the way we need to be? Pan-African vision and strategy. I'm not interested in any struggle where my life or freedom is going to be put on the line that did not or was not based upon strategy in a black think tank. No way. You cannot fight until you first have a plan. Fighting without a plan will get a whole bunch of people hurt, killed, and lives sacrificed because you wanted to fight but you didn't know what you was fighting for or where to stop. International operationalism means we link up with African communities throughout the world. International African operationalism. We must link up with blacks all across the world to fight for our struggle, our freedom for independence and power. Okay? If you're not linking up on a Pan-African level, then your struggle is worthless. Because we are what? One race, not a bunch of different tribes whose identities have been given to them by their former colonizers and slave masters. I'm not that petty. I'm not that weak. My vision and consciousness is way too strong for me to limit myself to fictitious borders and boundaries and identities that were given to me by my slave master and colonizer. You might do it, but not Brother Umar. Last but not least, the immediacy of independence. The immediacy. We want it now. We're going to work for it now. We're going to struggle, die, sacrifice right now. Not next year, not next century. The time for the resurrection of Africa and her children is now. I want to leave you with a quote from the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey as I end this audio book. He said, "Without confidence in self, African people. Without confidence in self, you are twice defeated in the race of life. But with confidence, you have won, even before you have started." This is Brother Umar.